Okay, we're going to perform Form A. I'm going to talk about my lights and reflectors. I have my headlights, my turn signals in 4 ways, and my clearance lights. They should be amber in color. My headlight should be clear. My high beam and low beam should work on my headlight. I want to make sure that all my lights are securely mounted, they are clean, not cracked or missing, and that they work properly. And then I want to talk about my oil level. My oil level is full. My coolant level is full. My power steering fluid is full. And my water pump is on the other side. Water pump securely mounted, not cracked, not leaking coolant. And my hose is not cut, cracked, or bulged, and not leaking. Alternator is securely mounted. All belts are not loose, cracked, frayed, missing, no more than a 1/2 inch of play. Wires are not loose, corroded, or burnt. And now I'll go back to the other side of the truck. The air compressor is securely mounted. It is not cracked. It is not leaking air, oil, or coolant, and it is gear driven. My hose lines are not cut, cracked, or bulging, and they are not leaking oil, coolant, or power steering fluid. My steering box is securely mounted. It is not cracked. It is not leaking fluid. My hoses off my steering box are not cut, cracked, or bulged, and not leaking. My steering linkage, which consists of my steering shaft, my pitman arm, my drag link, my steering arm, and tie rod, are all securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. And I also want to ensure that I don't have no missing cotter pins or nuts. The tire is securely mounted. It should have at least 4 30-second tread depth. It should not be cracked, cut, or bulging. No foreign objects. And I want to make sure that I check to make sure that it is inflated to manufacturer specifications using a tire thumper or a gauge. I also want to make sure that my valve stem is not bent or missing and the metal cap is in place. I want to talk about my rim. My rim is securely mounted. It is not cracked, bent, or welded. I do not have any rust trails. My lug nuts are not loose, rusted, or missing. No cracks or wears around bolt holes. My hub oil seal, which could be either sealed or vented. In this case, we have a sealed hub seal. It is securely mounted. It is not cracked. It is not leaking oil inside or out. It is full of oil. And if it was vented, I would have a rubber cap in place. My spring is securely mounted. It is not cracked or missing or fanned out. My shocks are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. They are not rusted, and they are not leaking fluid. And my rubber bushings, up here and down here, are in place. My U-bolts are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing. My spring mounts are securely mounted, not cracked, bent. Now my hose lines, talking off the brake chamber here, are securely mounted. It is not cracked, cut, or bulged. It is not leaking. My brake chamber is securely mounted. It is not cracked. It is not rusted. It is not leaking air. And my ring clamp is in place. My slack adjuster, which is right in front of my brake chamber, is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or missing, and should have no more than 1 inch of travel. My drum rotor, my drum is on the inside of the tire here. My drum is securely mounted. It is not cracked. It is not warped. There is no oil or petroleum on it. Lining not cracked or broken.